Hello, Supercars in seconds here. So the video is not really about stealing a McLaren, take the wig off. It's about how to access the battery if your battery has gone dead. You do effectively have to break into the car to do that. The trunk will be down, the doors will be closed, etc. So you can't get in to charge the battery. I'm going to show you the process. It will be different for every car. A 570 and a 720 are similar once you've accessed and popped the trunk. On a 720, it's in through the headlight. On a 570, it's under the car, as it is on a 650, a 12C, or a 675. I'll show you all of that, and I'll show you a little timeline in the bottom in the description of where each car will be, but you'll have a clear image of each car, then the video will start for each model. Something to bear in mind, the window must look like this before you start. So it has to have a slight gap, so that's the side mirror, a slight gap down. It can be a bit tighter sometimes, almost up to there, but if it's all the way up in here, please don't do this process. You could crack the window trying, because it could be a different fault with the car of why the window's all the way up, but it won't open. I'll go through all of the processes, starting with the keys. Please watch the keys section for every car. I'm going to do the keys now, and that's the same for all the cars. And then after that, I'll run through model by model and the full process of how to get in and start your car. Okay, so depending on which model you have, this would be a 570S, 570 GT, 600 LT, etc. Or a 720S, your key will look like this. If you have a 650, a 12C, or a 675, your key will look like this. Both have a skeleton key inside that we need to use in the next process. So let's start with perhaps a 570S key. This is actually a 600 key, but that's okay. If I turn it completely over, you'll notice a little depression just here. Oh, thunder outside. A little depression just here. If I push my thumb down and slide that forwards, the back will come off. I'd already loosened that one just to show you. Now here's your skeleton key. Use your thumb and pop that out, and we'll need it for the next stage of the process. This would be if you had a 12C, a 650, or a 675 LT. If you notice on the side of the key here, I'll turn it upside down because this little button, you'll notice, is the same shape as your exhaust pipes. They don't miss a chance to incorporate some of their design. So this little button here, I'm going to try and do it with one hand, but you push the little button in and then pull up on the end. So let me see if I can do it with one hand. Let's see, bang. Oh, I did, okay, great. That pops out the skeleton key for that model, which you will then use the next stage of the process. So as I mentioned, the lithium-ion jump box is the best way to do it. I would order one just right away to have it ready for your car if this should ever happen. If you don't have access to a jump box, you can sometimes do it with just the charger. Let me show you how. So here's our battery tender. Now, if your car is totally dead and you don't have access to a charge box, this is a good way to do it. So you can see the green light is on. I'm going to plug the other end now into the car here. So we'll just pop it in there. That's it. And now this car, of course, is charged. So now the cable comes out. I just lower this down. I don't clip it. I just lower it down so it rests on the latch. That's fine. Now you'll see this one is moving the orange lights. It's on the second one of 4 here. If your car is completely dead, it will illuminate the first one. Then a few seconds later, it'll click it across to this, which will be red. The green will stay on, but it will go red here. If you then touch reset and let go, it'll click back across. 10 seconds later, it'll click back over to red. The point, if you don't have access to a jump box, you can do it like a charging box. You can do that about 10 or 12 times, and then it will click across to the second one. Sometimes it takes 20 minutes, sometimes it takes 5 minutes, but at least you can get the car started at a remote location. So this works on 570, 600, 12C, 650, 675, etc. The key is located at the end of the door. Underneath the car, there's a little square, about 2-inch square plastic tab that I'll show you now. You push the front end forward and Drop it down, revealing the keyhole. When you put the key up inside, the L part of the key will be facing you, and you'll pull down here or here as you turn the key underneath. So you put the key in, reach up and grab here, pull down to take the pressure off the latch as you turn the key. So let me show you where it is underneath. Let's have a little look. I don't know if you can see this little tab here. I'm just going to pop it off, revealing the key to us. Once you pull down on the door and turn the key, you then are able to open the door, being careful that the glass window is outside of the channel. If it's holding in the channel, just run your finger behind it gently. Be very gentle. You don't want to damage that glass window. Once it's free, you can then open the door and you're going to reach in underneath the wheel arch. I push this forwards and it pops the trunk. So 720S a little bit different. No keyhole down the side now. It's up in this splitter here. So not in the headlight, down in the main splitter itself. I'll slide the camera way in here and you can start to see it. Here's the lock here. So you put the key in, turn it, and it will pop the trunk the same way that you pop it in the door of the other cars. We then move on to getting into the trunk. So now walk around to the front of the car. You're not quite done yet. It won't open yet. It's jammed. So underneath the M of McLaren, underneath here, is a metal hoop on the hood of the car. That's being held by a bracket that's spun up like your finger, like that. So you have to reach under. You'll feel the metal tab holding it. Just push it to the left. I'll do that now. Now then I'll show you what I've been adjusting. Right, so here's your metal loop that was being held by this here. This was pushed over there, holding that latch down in there. I reached underneath and pushed this to the left. Now I can open up the trunk. Reaching inside, we're then going to get a straight slotted screwdriver. Take the screwdriver and turn each of these two screws just through 90 degrees, that's all. Just flip them sideways. Then I put the screwdriver down and take the little door where you charge the car and pull it backwards. That releases the cover for the battery. Now you'll see your black left terminal here, and the right terminal is any screw that you can see on the right hand side. I recommend a lithium battery charger or jump start box, not conventional cables. So the MP412C, 650S and 675, slightly different process. We've had our little window down, used the key underneath, we're able to open the door up, and then for those cars, you'll see here a little circle. I don't know if you can see it right there. There it is. I'm gonna pull that out, hear the trunk release, and then push it back in, and now we can go to the front of the car. So for 12C, 675, and 650S, you'll notice that on the bumper here, there's a little tiny ridge. That's where your latch is on the inside of this car. So I just push it to the left and open it up. This operates a different way than the other cars. Inside the trunk, we have this surround around the top, okay? You're gonna pull this little cover off, just pull it off and drop it into the trunk. And then you're gonna lift up this section. You can feel it popping off its Velcro there. There we are, just halfway. And then you're gonna undo all of these plastic screws. There are a lot of them, okay? But only to the seam. You don't need to do the whole front half, just the rear half of the trunk. A Phillips screwdriver on these plastic screws, and you do have a little hex bolt just here and just here. Once those are undone, under the carpet, you have a line of screws across the bottom. Just undo those and take this whole part of the trunk right out, and the battery's sitting right there. So once you've got the car on the battery charger, climb inside, and then you're going to hit the unlock button. You'll notice that the hazard warning lights will flash in the center. When I hit this, it flashes the hazard warning lights. That hooks up the key to the car. Then you're going to press the brake incredibly firmly, harder than you've ever pressed a brake pedal in your life, and hit the starter. It might take a second, but then it will roar to life. Well, I hope that was useful for you. The cars are easy to get into once you know the habits and the little processes to do. The video shows each car by car, and really very interesting. It's very simple to get going once you've got it on the charger. And a jump box is better. You know, if you've got those lithium ion jump box, I got mine from Amazon. It's a great little thing. Plugs it on, it'll start the car in 5 seconds. So I would recommend getting that, a jump starter box, perhaps from Amazon or wherever you might get it. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I hope you're going to like the video for me. If you don't mind, share the video around. If I can answer any questions on this video or any of the cars we've done before, please ask in the comments down below. Thanks very much. I'll see you soon.